What was that lyric? I even miss the airport.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it should just be ba 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 ba. That lady back there is not me. She's wearing a wig.
I think that's the way it goes.
That's right.
Lovely song. I'm talking to
Thank
Lenka.
you.
Who
Hey,
returned to the new
everyone.
song. Hello. The new song and video is out. It's called Ivory Tower. Um, I remember the day where I first came up with Ivory Tower on the radio, and it was midnight, and suddenly the studio goes all whimsical and fun. Now, the question
Cool.
is, yeah, do you remember the day where you came up with that? That is so hooky and catchy, Lenka.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. Well, it
Yeah.
was last year. You know, I guess I couldn't really think of what word or whatever I wanted that hook to be. It was just like a rhythmic thing. So I just sang it into the demo like that. And then the guy that I was working on the track with was like, oh no, I love that. Like, we're keeping it the same. I was like, maybe there's a word there, or maybe that should be like a synthesizer or something. He's like, no, it should just be ba 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 ba. Because it's a pop song. You don't really need words sometimes in pop songs.
It is. Now, who is that guy that told you to do that?
His name's Dave Jenkins Jr. He's a Sydney producer, and he's played drums with me before. And so he's like a musician and a producer, but he also has his own like electronic synth band that is pretty 80s. So he's good at that like 80s synth pop vibe. And when he sent me this track, I really felt like it had this like Cyndi Lauper kind of quality like that, which I grew up on and absolutely loved that 80s kind of music. So I really gravitated towards that track, and yeah, wrote about it at home in this studio actually. And this is where I did my bit, he did his bit. So it was like a remote writing session.
All right. So shout out to Dave Jenkins, is it? Now, could you tell us something about Dave that you have come across to know just now when you're making Ivory Tower? Some fun fact about Dave that you have just knew about him?
Well, I don't know. Fun fact. He's got a really cute baby
Oh.
that managed to not appear on the track in the background. Yeah, no, I don't really know any fun facts about him. He's a great guy. He's really good at 80s music, and he has a great collection of drum machines and synthesizers.
All right. Cute baby. That is a fun fact.
Cute baby, drum machines, synthesizers, tick.
All right. We talked about background. This is my background. This is my Ivory Tower background.
Yeah.
What can you describe about this
Well,
Ivory Tower?
I like cut those out, photocopied them and cut them out, those things that are behind you. So they're just it's kind of like an art project, I was like, got that feeling of being really degraded, and I just wanted to be inside an ivory tower for the video, but in like a sort of a vintage MTV music video style with a bit of Monty Python thrown in. And yeah, then I worked with an animator who turned it into this whole world. And so like right now, I think that that's about to like rotate to be the next scene of the world that she lives in, because it's not me, it's a different character. That lady back there is not me. She's wearing a wig. Yeah, so I was like sort of being somebody else and exploring a character for this song and trying to get inside the head of a different type of person.
All right. So that is my background. Now, can you tell me about your background?
My background is my
Where you are at the moment.
teeny tiny studio in I live in the country. What was that lyric? And I was like grasping, but I did eventually find it. So I was like, good brain, tiny studio. So there's a lot of these like things that stop the sound bouncing around. And I do a lot of recording in here. I do writing at my keyboards back there. I've got, my ukulele over there.
Wow. Yeah.
All my craft that I do. This is my lockdown macrame that I did last year when we were in lockdown. This is, can you see that one? That's a pair of lungs that I stitched.
Oh, that's a lung.
They're lungs, yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, I guess it's like a shrine to my own quirky creativity, and it's like a little safe place where I can just be myself and nobody can tell me to take anything down off the walls. It's all mine, and it's really creative. I love it. It's really tiny. It's like basically like a little hole in the wall. So nothing fancy, but it works really well. It's soundproof and I love it.
All right. So that is the keyword, shrine it is. So what are your favorite moments in the room, Lenka, this 2021? How many songs have you compiled here in the room, in the shrine? Tell us all about it.
Sometimes there's moments of frustration in here too, when you can't quite get a song and you need to take a break. How many songs? Well, I've probably written, because this was only built last year, actually, during the lockdown. This house was getting built. So it's only been about a year, and I've probably written 5 or 6 songs in here. So that's pretty good. I'm not working towards an album or anything. I only write when I really feel inspired to write. So I think that's like, it's a pretty good sign that it's a creative space. And sometimes I just come in here to escape my family, and it's because it's soundproof and I can just hide in here and like watch TV or something.
All right. So what have you watched lately on TV or on streaming TV?
I'm watching Girls Five Ever at the moment. Have you watched that? I just finished it, actually. It's Tina Fey, the American comedian. It's really funny. It's about a girls group from the early 2000s that get back together. It's got Sarah Bareilles in it, who was my old label mate at Epic Records when I lived in the States. And yeah, it was super funny. I don't watch that much TV. What my special treat, because I'm a mum with 2 little kids, so I have to do a lot of laundry, folding the laundry. So my special treat is like I watch TV while I'm folding laundry. That's like my hang time.
All right. Other than making music. So you have said that you feel inspired when you're making music. Now, where and when is that time when you feel inspired? Basically, usually during the day.
Well, unfortunately, it can happen at any time. Middle of the night is quite often, if I'm having an insomniac moment, that's when lyrics will come to you. And like the other night, because I'm working on a song at the moment, and I couldn't find any lyrics for it. I have a full melody for it, but I didn't know what the words were going to be. And it came to me in the middle of the night, but I didn't want to like wake up and, because sometimes I'll just get my phone and I'll be like, blah, 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 like sing it into the phone really quietly or write it down, but I didn't want to wake up. So I just was like, oh, I'm going to remember it in the morning. And then you get up in the morning and make a cup of tea and you're like, oh, what was that lyric? And I was like grasping, but I did eventually find it. So I was like, good on your brain. Often in the car, I find is quite inspiring, with the sort of like click of the indicators, and or you might be there might be a song playing on the radio and you kind of like hear a beat and then it finishes and you kind of like keep on with that groove, and the kids are in the back. And again, it's just so awesome, this era of smartphones, because in the olden days you would have had to, I don't know, write it with a pen and paper, try to record it on some like big clunky recorder. And so it's pretty great that you're basically walking around with like this little note-taking machine. So yeah, I usually then get a little bit of an idea down, a couple of lines. I've got millions of these in my phone, as I'm sure like most artists would tell you, this is what happens. You just get like a little bit of an idea and then you go away later and work on it more, flesh it out.
Right. That is a nice tune, actually. Ta, ta, ta. That one is all right. So I found these Instagram post one day ago while talking to you at the moment. You found these old passport photos in the back of a drawer, even though I look grim and intense. That is making me miss traveling so much. Now, can you give me 3 places that you want to travel to at the moment, right now?
Well, obviously, I'm going to say Indonesia, because you guys love Ivory Tower. So I'd love to come over there and play it for you and just like share the love of that. I would really love to go to Czech Republic, where
Czech Republic.
I have family over there. I have an old auntie, I have some cousins, and last year I had a show booked there and it got cancelled because of, you know why. Yeah, so I really, that's like a heart pull. I would like to go over there and see my old auntie before she passes away. And I'd love to take the kids to Japan. I think they'd really love Tokyo. And like just seeing just a really different culture to Australia. That would be really cool. But alas, we have to let go of these feelings right now. I'm actually meant to be going on holiday next week, just to a different state in Australia, to Queensland. I live in New South Wales, and it's probably going to get cancelled because we have a COVID outbreak right now and the borders are closing. I'm just like, oh, for God's sake, it's just so boring. But all you can do is accept it. This is the world we live in now. We have to roll with the punches and just be grateful for what, for your health, and just kind of think local. I'm mostly just trying to think local. But I do want to travel. I even miss the airport.
Yeah, we haven't been there for a while.
I know. I never thought I would. I normally hate it, I normally hate being on planes and waiting for planes and everything getting delayed. And now I'm like, oh, I didn't know how good I had it. I was so lucky.
Yeah, I guess it is the bright side from the pandemic. I mean, you kind of miss the airports, places that you kind of get bored to getting into, and then you just miss it at the moment.
I know. Yeah.
By the way, I'm pretty sure Kevin from Secret Signals will love to take you to someplace in Indonesia, if you will go to Indonesia at the moment, at future time. So once again, I would like to congratulate you on the Bright Side album. It turned 6 this year.
Yeah.
Feel about that?
That's right. Well, I didn't realize that until a fan pointed it out. Thank you. Because I have my own label, and it's just me. So like I'm one of these people that's just kind of like, I live in the moment. I don't really keep track of stuff. So thank God somebody's keeping track and they're reminding me.
Shout out Lenka fan.
I forgot. Yeah. Thanks, Lenka fan. I didn't realize, but it's pretty amazing that it's been that long. And I've realized that at the end of this year, I will have actually been back in Australia for 10 years since moving back from America, and been an independent artist for 10 years. So I was signed to a label for 4 years. And then I've been independent for far longer now. And life's been going on in the meantime. It's been a bit slower because I've been having a family and everything. So I sort of didn't realize that so much time has passed, but that's actually been the bulk of my career now. I've released 4 albums as an independent artist. The Bright Side was the second one of those. Yeah. It was a great tour. I did quite a bit of international touring with that album, and it was a really fun, uplifting album. So it was a lot of fun for me.
It is a lot of fun for me too, to be able to talk to you, Lenka. Last but not least, we cannot wait for you to come across to Indonesia for your Ivory Tower era. Can you say simple words, simple message to all Lenka fan in Indonesia? Go for it.
Oh, I love you guys. My Indonesian fans are the best, most passionate, most beautiful fans in the world. And I really hope that I can come over and do some singing for you guys. Thanks for your support.
Thank you, Lenka, for your time. Now you can go back to your shrine, watch TV, or
yes,
go to sleep with the kids.
Thank you. Yeah, go to bed.
Thank you, Lenka.
Thank
Kevin.
you.